The first prong of the ABC test is that the person is free from the control and direction of the hiring entity in connection with the performance of the work, and again, innocuous but meaningful, both under the contract for performance of the work and in fact. So let's break this down. What in the world does this mean that the hiring entity has to prove? The first part is pretty simple. You either have an independent contractor or not. You are either supervising them, telling them when to come in to work, giving them their breaks, have a supervisor standing over their shoulder and requiring them to put out a certain quantity or quality of work every single day. You're going to fail the ABC test, or Section A of the ABC test, prong A. If in fact what you do is you send that work out, or even if they come in and you don't supervise them, it's a project, they're professional, they do their job. A bookkeeper, a fractional CFO, an outside HR consultant, okay? Those will qualify under this. You send it out to get it done, you don't step over them, you get your product back. Okay, your finished product, if you will. The two other things that are important to this section, which they of course sneak in like an innocuous little word or two, you have to prove this concept not only under the contract, which this is where, again, it's very clear, a written contract continues to be required to be used if you have a 1099 contractor. But you also have to prove it not under the contract, but in performance of the work itself. I got to tell you something. I got a lot of answers for a lot of these things. I don't know how you prove 4 years later when there's an audit, you don't have your independent contractor around. All you have is your written independent contractor agreement, how you as the employer are going to prove it actually worked the way it says in the contract. So it's a difficult thing. I think it's going to be a totality of the circumstances for this prong, and they'll take a look at it and see if it's the type of thing that is independent contractor worthy, they'll approve it. I don't really worry about this prong of the test for my clients. This is the prong of the test that I worry about. Section B, or the prong B of the ABC test, says that the person performs work that is outside the usual course of the hiring entity's business. Exactly, huh? This is going, in my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion here. In my opinion, this is going to be the highest potential source of litigation. Everybody's going to litigate what in the world it means. I will give you some examples of what it probably means and probably does not mean, all right? If you are hiring outside administrative services, I can make a very good argument, and I think it's not contemplated by the statute, that that is not a work that is in the usual course of your business. It supports the usual course of your business, but it's not in the usual course of your business. Again, if you're hiring bookkeepers, fractional CFOs, HR consultants, even agents out there to go drum up business or find business or whatever it is, that may be, you may be well and satisfy prong B. By the way, prong B is what Uber and Lyft and food delivery services and even those guys in Silicon Valley probably will not satisfy, okay? You got to understand, because it's written so broad, I highly recommend a professional to make those types of assessments of your business, okay? They have to be done on a case-by-case basis. All of these prongs need to be done on a case-by-case basis, and I don't mean a business-by-business basis. I mean even within a business on a contractor-by-contractor basis, okay? Because most of this focuses on who the contractor is and what the services are, not who the hiring party is, all right? So I do recommend a professional, either HR or legal review, to let you know whether you are satisfying this with respect to your 1099 contractors. I'll give you an example of something that absolutely will not work for this one, and that is any independent contractor who is delivering directly to your client that you charge the service that you're charging for. All right? Let me say that again. If the Uber driver is driving you to your location, you're getting the service directly from the Uber driver. That will not satisfy prong B. Okay? Prong C, we got to satisfy all three of them. This is another one that's probably easier to prove than not, and that is the person is customarily engaged in an independently established trade, occupation, or business of the same nature that is involved in the work performed. What does that mean? It means you're independent contractors in business doing that business for other people. If he or she is a bookkeeper, an outside bookkeeper, they provide their bookkeeping services for many different companies. If it satisfies that, great. What is this preventing? This is preventing captive independent contractors. Give you an example of that. A captive independent contractor with one client I just restructured, and that is they had an outside sales force that only worked for them. Ain't gonna fly under these rules. We had to restructure that. All right, so let's talk about, wait, I must have hit that. That's the ABC test. If you fail the ABC test, you don't have an independent contractor. You don't have a 1099 contractor. You should have been treating them as an employee.